Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard the 125-foot Atlantis for another virtual whale and dolphin watch trip with Captain Jeff and Captain Jeff. Hi, guys. We've been running all this week. We've had a lot of successful trips, and we're here at Cape May Canal entrance right now with quite a few groups of bottlenose dolphins, so let's check them out. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the cruise. Focused up here. Got some active feeding going on over by the one jetty here. Cape May County is actually the northernmost calving grounds for bottlenose dolphins every year. 3,000 dolphins sit north of these waters. Last year, out of that 3,000, around 700 called Cape May their summer home. For this, we missed about 65 newborn calves all being given birth right here in Cape May, so keep your eyes peeled for calves. It is calving season. What are you looking for? What's a calf? Calves are baby dolphins, right? So you're looking for a baby dolphin, swimming right tight to mama's side. They're usually around 18 to 24 inches in length. Can be darker in coloration than the rest of the dolphins. If the calves are born in the last 24 hours, they will be jet black in coloration. They'll have small folds or creases in their sides called fetal folds. And their dorsal fin may or may not be bent over to one side. The calves get this way from living within the fetal cavity for the past 12 months. Right, ladies, it's 12 months for dolphins, not 9, 12. We got them up in the inlet here, up ahead of us. We've got some going behind us on the right side, out of the inlet. They're all spread out through here. Just keep looking around. And believe it or not, we've been photo identifying the dolphins here in Cape May for around the last 25 years, and what we've learned about our dolphin friends, we've learned the same dolphins. They come back here year after year after year. Kind of like you guys. You find a nice place to vacation, you go back, right? Same thing with the dolphins. So if you're just tuning in with us here, this is Captain Jeff on board the 125-foot high-speed Atlantis here, just outside the Cape May Canal entrance. We've got several pods of dolphins present here, feeding around the rock piles today, along with several osprey, cormorants. Got a beautiful day on Delaware Bay once again here. And as Captain Stewart had mentioned earlier, we have a report of a humpback whale in the bay here. We've had a few reports, and as recently as a couple days ago, we've had a report of a humpback whale right over by these jetties here. Same place that the dolphins show up, so. No, John, we are not located in Long Island. We're located in Cape May, New Jersey, which is about 150 miles away from Long Island. But that's a real shame to hear about a 4-alarm fire in Long Island or Staten Island. It's Staten Island? Staten Island. Yeah, we're nowhere near there. Thank you for the news update. Now, when a female dolphin goes to give birth for the first time, she'll swim back to the matriarchal pod from which she was born. So in most cases, her mother's there, her grandmother's there. In some rare cases, even her great-grandmother. You see, we've been actually been able to prove lineage between the dolphins from generation to generation. When she goes to give birth, she'll be assisted in the birthing process by, for lack of a better phrase, a midwife. The midwife's there to assist in all aspects of the birthing process and to take over calf-rearing responsibilities if anything were to happen to the mother dolphin. Left side coming to you here. Every now and then you see the dolphins up on the surface so you can see their eyes. Remember, dolphins have excellent vision above and below the surface. You can see their eyes. They're going watching them, checking us out, seeing who's out in that big red and white boat today. Now, even though dolphins have excellent vision above and below the surface, they navigate using another sense, something we do not possess as humans, which is echolocation or sonar. What this is, it's actually a sound pulse or vocalization that the dolphins emit from the melon portion of their body. This sound travels through the water in front of the dolphin. When it bounces off of objects like the bottom of the ocean, the bottom of the boat, other dolphins, or fish, the sound is sent back to the dolphin and sent it out and picked up by tiny receptors in the lower jaw and chin. Receptors are their teeth. Their teeth are staggered into two distinctive rows. They get the sound back in stereo. This gives dolphins a 3D readout of what's in front of them all the time. It makes them perfectly suited for swimming in murky waters like you have here at Delaware Bay, or for hunting and feeding at night. Sounds like we had a few more on the right side there. We had some on our left side, very close to the boat here. Yeah, we've got a lot of bait in the bay this time of year. A lot of fish around these jetties, so it makes sense why a whale would come in this close. It's not the norm, but it's also not unheard of. Yeah, we saw a Facebook video of a whale right next to this jetty the other night. Definitely one humpback whale in the bay. We took a trip way up the bay yesterday. I think we went too far though. We didn't have a whole lot of life. We did have dolphins up there, and the warmest water we've seen so far this season, so that's all positive. More dolphins still up between the jetties here. More dolphins up ahead of us still here, coming out of the inlet. Some feeding on the far side there, left side. Far side of the jetty. The dolphins are here feeding. They're chasing fish. They're having a little sushi for lunch. Dolphins are expert fishermen. They don't miss a trick. They live, hunt, and work all within a cooperative community. They utilize cooperative hunting techniques to gather their fish. They eat 10 to 15 pounds of fish every day. They communicate back and forth through a series of whistles and clicks. Straight out, right side, dolphins are back up. Coming to you. After a female dolphin gives birth, her first act as a new mom is always going to be to kick her calf up towards the surface for their first breath of fresh air to let them know that's where they have to go to breathe. After she's carried her calf for those 12 months and given birth, it's not the end of the relationship, not at all. It's just the beginning of a new phase. She's going to become the nursing mom and nurse her calf for 12 months. Then after that, she's going to become the teacher, and she'll teach her calf for another 12 months, all the ways of the dolphin world. Right next to you, right side. More dolphins straight out on the left, a little behind us on the left. And dead ahead of us at 12 o'clock. So what are we looking at today, folks? Are these dolphins or porpoise? What's the difference? A lot of folks use the names back and forth, dolphin and porpoise, like they're the same. Today, we're looking at dolphins, not porpoise. See, dolphins have a beak which sticks out the front of their body, makes them look like they're always smiling, and they have cone-shaped teeth. Porpoise, on the other hand, have a blunt head and spade-shaped teeth. Dolphins are also larger than porpoise. These bottlenose dolphins are about twice the size of a harbor porpoise. One other way that you can tell the difference between dolphins and porpoise is just by the time of year you see them here in Cape May. We see dolphins, we see porpoise, we see them all in different seasons. Our dolphins, they show up here around the middle of April. They stay with us throughout the spring, summer, and the fall. They don't leave here till around December. The dolphins do this because they like the water 50 degrees or warmer. Our water temperature out in the bay today, 56 degrees. Now, porpoise, on the other hand, you won't see a porpoise this time of year in Cape May. If you came back out in January or February and see some harbor porpoise out here, be out in 38-degree water, there would not be any dolphins that time of year. We got several groups up tight to the beach in front of us here. They're actually chasing the fish from the deeper water out here right into the breakers along the beach, using the beach as a barrier. The shallower the water, the less places there are for the fish to escape. The easier it is for the dolphins to eat them. And we still have several pods of dolphins between the rock piles up ahead and to our right here. Got a pretty good turnout of folks today. Everybody's been talking about the weather tomorrow, that there's a chance of rain, so we've seen a better turnout today. And that's fine. That's why it's nice to have the option to go during the week in April here. We've had other weekday trips added to the schedule if you're thinking about coming down during the week. I know we've got Mondays, I know we've got Fridays, and I think we've got a couple of Thursday trips up now for the rest of April. And then we're trying to go every day as of May the 2nd, I believe. Now, we left the dock. We said we're leaving on a cetacean spectacular. That term cetacean, it refers to a group of 80 different marine mammal species, which are broken up into two sub-orders: toothed whales and baleen whales. Bottlenose dolphins, they are toothed whales. They are grouped in with other toothed whales. That includes other dolphins, porpoise, orcas, pilot whales, belugas. Those are all examples of toothed whales. Larger whales like humpback whales, fin whales, right whales, the blue whale, those are all baleen whales. They don't have any teeth. In lieu of teeth, they have baleen plates in the roof of their mouth. You use the baleen like a big filter. They filter their food out of seawater and then swallow it whole. A couple more groups of dolphins. Osprey chilling over on the end of the rock pile there on the day marker. Couple groups back maybe on the rock pile there. Some folks from the rock pile checking out the dolphins too. And a couple different groups back behind us now. Gotta keep looking around with dolphins. Another nice group dead ahead of us at 12 o'clock there. They're always in motion. They're not going to stay in one place for you. They won't pose for us. We'd like to know what kind of fish they're eating here. We know at the other jetty they were feeding on stripers. We saw a seal feeding on a pretty large striped bass, right in the same place that the dolphins were chasing fish. And then we saw Kristen here got a photograph of one of the osprey with a striped bass in its talons. So much smaller striped bass, about maybe a 9 or 10 inch long striped bass, but still it's what the osprey were feeding on at the Cold Spring Inlet, the ocean side here. We've seen pods of dolphins pretty consistently at the canal entrance here now over the last week. We don't know what they're feeding on. Haven't really got a good photograph of it yet, so it could be anybody's guess. Could be bunker or menhaden. We've seen that on the bay already this year. Could be weak fish or could be small stripers. We don't know. All up ahead of us now, between the rock piles, still chasing fish. Now, have you ever thought about how a dolphin sleeps? Not really, right? It's pretty important though. Think about a sleeping dolphin like this. Dolphins, they are marine mammals. They have to surface to breathe air, and they breathe air like we do. They can't lay down on the ocean floor and take a nap, right? Neither can the dolphins. Now, scientists knew for years they are related to other cetaceans like humpback whales. They had witnessed humpback whales doing something called logging when they are tired. Logging is a pretty simple process for the humpback whale. They float on the surface with their back exposed to the air. Every now and then they take a breath of fresh air through the blowhole in their back. Humpback whales can do that because they have a lot of blubber. Blubber is fatty tissue, and we all know fat floats. Dolphins, on the other hand, dolphins have a lot of muscle. The dolphins, they are more dense than water. If they stopped swimming and moving around, they would actually sink and drown. Hard to believe, one of nature's best swimmers. Dolphins up right side here. That nice group to our left. Puzzled scientists for years, too, until finally a Russian scientist had 2 dolphins in captivity. He hooked them up to a brainwave machine and solved the mystery. He discovered dolphins have the ability to isolate either hemisphere of their brain throughout the day. So, throughout one part of the day, the dolphins are swimming on the left hemisphere of their brain only. The right hemisphere is turned off or sleeping. Throughout another part of the day, they're swimming on the right hemisphere of their brain only. The left hemisphere is turned off or sleeping. And throughout more rigorous activities like feeding and or mating, dolphins are operating on both left and right hemispheres of the brain at the same time. Unlike man, we all know when it comes to mating, man will be operating on no hemispheres of the brain. Brings up another interesting topic with dolphins, though. How about their mating behavior? Did you know dolphins are some of the most sexually active creatures on planet Earth? Unlike other animals that only mate when the females in heat, the dolphins actually mate 365 days of the year. They mate for fun and recreation. Some male dolphins, believe it or not, they've been known to mate 5 to 7 times per day. Yeah, I love those dolphins. Puts a whole new spin on that theory about coming back as a bird in the next life. Starting to surface up ahead of us here. Out on our left, to the left. Subsurface feeding over on the left up ahead of us here. Chasing fish. What kind of fish do you think they're feeding on here, folks? Haven't got a great view yet. A big part of their diet here in the Mid-Atlantic states consists of bunker. Bunker is a small oily fish around 3 to 9 inches in length, silver in color, also known as menhaden, moss bunker, and a few other names. The dolphins are at the top of the food chain. They eat all kinds of fish. Back behind us on the left, more dolphins up. Splashing up here on the left. They eat small striped bass, weak fish, bluefish, blue claw crabs, you name it, it's on the menu for the dolphins. Going to the right up ahead of us now. service here today. I look left, they pop right. I look right, they pop left. Definitely moving around a lot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up our virtual whale and dolphin watch for today. Thank you all for tuning in, as usual. Always nice to see you aboard virtually. Great to see you aboard actually as well. So if you get a chance to come on down, again, we're sailing select days, weekdays that is, in April. Every weekend we're going in April, and then as of May the 2nd, I believe it is, we're going every day, and that'll continue on through October. Of course, you know, taking into account weather and things like that. But that's our plan. That's what we're doing, and we hope to see you aboard. And if for whatever reason you can't make it aboard, we will continue virtually broadcasting as we have for the last 3 years here. So stay tuned for another one. Thanks for coming aboard. Have a great weekend.